You are about to listen to Only Fools and Collecting, a podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Hello. You all right, Pete?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate.
Good. Well, we're here again on another Thursday night for another stonking episode of Only Fools and Collecting.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
You better be, otherwise it'd be a shit show. So, we are brought to you again by What a Scrapyard. Any 6-scale heads or 12 and all that kind of stuff, go for it. They're fantastic guys. Well worth giving them a go. You want anything, they can design it and print it for you. Not a problem. And backdrops and bases. Again, anything you want, they can do it. When it comes to backgrounds and nameplates and things like that, to kind of complement your collection.
Yeah, the nameplates are really cool. That's kind of their latest venture, isn't it? We've got a few to show.
I'm fucking loving them.
Slides.
I'm really liking them.
Yeah.
They're perfect. So, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. Who have we got? We've got Toy Mafia. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that.
To Catherine.
Bless you. Sounds painful.
Yeah.
We got Ryan, Mark Pearson. We got the Everyday Collector, Mr. Reissue himself.
Hey, John.
The Punisher. That's it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
So, let us get started with...
New this fortnight.
Go on, show us what you got then, Pete.
Yeah, I got a few bits. First up, we've got... I think I spoke on the last show. I had some bids in on some Gamorrean guards. And
Pete sold a kidney.
Yeah, I did. But I suppose in a way, I was quite... surprised that I got it for the price that I did, because I was expecting it to go way over 400 quid and I was going to be out by that point. Hey Danny.
What, Danny?
See you, mate. So yeah, it cost me a shade over £300, but for a figure that was probably about £120 when it first came out 10 years ago. But I'm really happy with him. I'm kind of okay with the price I paid for it. Maybe Hot Toys will get to it eventually, years down the line, but it was kind of like the one missing piece on my Jedi shelf, and I've always been looking at this. So this is the Gartog one, so he's the more limited one.
Yeah.
I think there's 750 pieces. I wasn't bothered which one, to be honest, but I suppose because this one actually went for less than the standard one, so I was quite happy about that, because it's a little bit more, a bit rarer. But yeah, no, he's just a whacking great hunky figure. These heads about the size of 4 human head sculpts. There's not a lot of posing to him. His elbows don't bend, his knees don't bend. But then what are you going to do with him? I just think he's got real shelf presence. And I know Ian Seaby's got a couple of them. And every time I see pictures of his collection, I'm like, oh man, I really need one. So
it's kind of like the Leia Bush figure. Like it doesn't. There's only like 2 ways you're going to ever pose it. Like it doesn't, because in the film she stands there with a thermal detonator and Chewie in one hand. That's literally it.
Yeah.
It doesn't do fuck all else. So I get you.
Say overpaid, but there wasn't any choice, and I'm glad I've got him now. So that's another kind of grail ticked off. And then on the right there. Somebody was selling, the Last of Us figures have been coming out from these different couple of, I think, CC Toys and what's the other one? Master something or other.
I know which one you mean.
Yeah, a couple of different versions, and I think what people are doing is, like the real diehards are buying both sets of Joel and Ellie and kind of picking the bits they want, for the particular look they want, and then kind of selling the other stuff off. So this guy, on one of the groups, was selling off, so it was the body, the shirt, the jeans, the boots, the shotgun, the Molotov cocktail, and the guitar, I think for like 40 quid. I was just like,
it's not bad.
Well, I'm having that. It's just like, we were talking just now about how expensive his hobby is, and sometimes you just sort of want to jump on, just because it's something so cheap. You think, well, actually, I'll just jump on it, because if I don't like it, you're going to be able to pass it on and get your money back. And I really loved the first game. So what I've kind of gone for there, so it was without a head sculpt. So I picked up, that's a Pedro Pascal head sculpt. I think it was about £15 from China. It doesn't look great there, but actually in hand, it's that whole.
I've got
chestnut.
one coming along to paint one of the unpainted ones for someone.
Okay, but
So yeah,
actually, I think like looking at it really close up, the paintwork's pretty good. The eyes are good, the flesh is good. It just doesn't photograph well. So because obviously he's playing Joel in the upcoming Netflix series. So that's quite cool. I picked up I just put everything I had on it. So I put the knee pads on. I had some guns. I just kind of like all my spare kit. I put on him, and he's the guy that I bought it from. He's got the Ellies coming, so I'm going to do a deal with him on what he doesn't want from that as well. So I can have the pair together, and probably the two figures will cost 100, 120 quid in total. So it's kind of quite nice to actually be able to put something together for a reasonable price. So yeah, quite happy with him. And then it's funny because on your slide you're going to show us some nameplates you got from the guys at Backdrops and Bases, and as soon as I saw them, I was like, I love that Lord of the Rings one with the Fellowship.
It's really good, isn't it?
At the bottom, and then the next day I think this package came in the post, and I was sort of looking at it going, well, I don't know what it is. I know I've got some stuff of it, and I sort of opening it up, and I'm like, what's this metal thing? And I was like, oh wow, he had done me a Balin's Tomb one. So yeah, I was made up with that.
Nice,
really good. So I've stuck that there down there in front of the tomb. So yeah, thanks very much to Dean and Kevin for that. That's much appreciated.
Nice. Yeah, you done well there.
Yeah.
Good haul.
And what you've been up to.
So I had some nameplates as well. So I did some bits and pieces for Dean a way back. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, instead of some backgrounds, do some of them plates because I really like them. So when I saw he'd shown me the Lord of the Rings one,
you'd seen it, yeah.
I didn't really clock it was for you. I was like,
oh, I see. You're right, yeah.
I was like, I love that. I was like, look, so instead of some backgrounds, can I just have some nameplates then? Because I really like them. So he did us the Evil Dead ones. So all my Evil Dead figures now have these plates. And what I like about these is in the corner you've got the Evil Dead hand coming up.
Oh yeah.
With
I think that's kind of what
cabin
makes
on
them, isn't it? Yeah.
The attention detail on them is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I really like the Lord of the Rings ones.
Yeah.
Just having the Fellowship walking across is really good. And then the Guyver one is probably my favourite because they just designed it from scratch.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I had to run the backs down a little bit just to get the stand bits in, because it's perspex. Sometimes you have to do that. But yeah, it was fantastic. Absolutely loved them. So much so, I'm thinking actually, it might be a standard thing I do now. It's just tap him up for display packs.
Definitely. Seal up. Might have to hook up, get some for Mark and Danny for their Lord of the Rings figures.
Yeah, they're really good. It's well worth giving Backdrops and Bases a message because they are fantastic. Because I've got them for my Back to the Future stuff as well. Yes. And they really set it off. So yeah, I had those come through, so I was well happy with those. And then 1/6 Corner sent us through some stuff to have a look at, which is this little barrette, which goes with the Nicholson Joker
from the
museum. So you can do the museum bit.
Yeah.
It's really good. I was really surprised how well it came out. And it comes in that really nice little tin as well. So I really, really like that. It looks really. Unfortunately, I don't have a Nicholson Joker to put it on, but it fits quite well on most other stuff. So I'm kind of thinking when the Mars Toys one comes out, that could be really good to do a bit.
Does he in that scene? He has the half sort of dripping off, doesn't he?
For some of the scene he does, and some he doesn't. When she thinks she's throwing acid in his face, he's like,
because I think when I've seen people do customs, they've got that, that look, which is quite cool.
It's pretty easy to do. I mean, you can get unpainted knockoff sculpts. I was tempted to get one and do it with it, because all you're doing is reverse painting it, if you get what I mean. So you paint the whole face white and then just dry brush the flesh over the top. Which is why when you see people do it, it looks really dark because it's gone over white. Right, so it's it's because obviously he's put the makeup on, the flesh coloured makeup over his white suit.
So it looks dark.
And then the Joker sculpt I really like. It's called the XT001 Rooted Hair Joker sculpt on their website. This is just it straight out the box, so I've not faffed around with it. I've just bunged it on. But I really like it. I think it looks really good. I think with a bit of fluffing on the hair, bit of product, or I'm a man with no hair, so I don't know what the correct name for it is.
That's funny.
So I shall just call it product. With the right product on it, I think it could come out really well.
So have you got a Phoenix Joker?
No, I've been meaning to put one together for ages.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of scopes. So I've got one that Danny has sent. Not Danny. This is fucking terrible. Now I've forgotten his name. He's on every fucking show going. Eddie sent us one of these. Oh no, here it is. Here's his one. So he sent me that one to do.
Oh yeah.
Which I really like, and then I picked one of them up for myself to do.
Yeah.
But I really like this head one, so
it does look good.
I might just paint it up and then just make
some
my mind up.
Some of the suits look really, really good.
Mate, the Daft Toys one is...
That's the one that,
That's the one I really want. But I think I've left it a bit too long.
I thought I saw one on the groups, but I might be wrong.
They retailed at about 80 quid. So they weren't too bad. But so I've had that, and I've had a little play around with that, and I need to get a body sorted and a suit sorted. And then if I decide I'm going to go in a different direction, or I don't use these two, what we do is we give them away, do them as a giveaway or something.
Yeah.
Cool. But so I've had a pretty good couple of weeks. I've got a couple of bits winging its way to me, just shipping again, just waiting on that. And I keep meaning to take some photos of the indie gloves I got, because they are fantastic. They're DID ones, and the proper
you got
gloves.
some, yeah.
I found as soon as I saw a post with someone on, I was like, oh fuck, that looks really good. So I went on eBay, ordered a set pretty much straight away, and you don't know patience until you try and get a glove, a proper 1/6 scale glove, onto a hand that's doing that.
Have you actually done it?
Well, what I did was I got a knife, just cut down the fingers so they separated, and then managed to get them in there. It's the thumb, because this is going to sound so fucking nerdy now, some hands are like proper hands, so they're like that, with the thumb like that. Other ones, the thumb's like that, so they're going like that, like some weird fucking claw. So you're kind of like, well, I can't use any of them because I can't get a thumb like that into a glove.
No.
So I'll take some photos of that, because I think they're really just finishes indie off.
Yeah, they are cool. I think the gloved look is a good one to have for Raiders. Definitely, I like that look. So
So I so I really like that. And then I've got, I think other than that, I think I've finally done with pre-orders. I think for this year, other than Ash, I think that's it. I don't, unless something creeps up on me that I like Sideshow suddenly go, everything you've ever pre-ordered is coming out next month. I think I've got more pre-orders now than I've ever had. Same here.
I've got the next one will probably be the Snowspeeder Luke. And then I've got the Return of the Jedi Scout Trooper. I've got the Chrome Mando. I've got Doc Brown. I've got that Ring Wraith. So I've got about 6, and I've never had that many.
It sounds like most of yours are like second half of next year.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because I've got a few that are going to hit just after Christmas, and I need to look at them and go.
Yeah, mine are all a little way off, to be honest. I mean, Luke could drop early, because obviously they've just dropped quite a lot of Star Wars stuff, because they're sort of playing catch up, aren't they? So he, I suppose he might drop in the spring, but I don't think there's anything else this year.
No, I think I've got. So if they release Boba early, I'm fucked. And if they release Django, I'm fucked. but I need to kind of decide what I want to do with the 2-pack, whether or not I want to bother with it or not.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little bit like, well, the thing is, it'll come out and I know. Ironically, the thing I like the most about the 2-pack is him in the robes. I don't give a shit about him in a beaten up armour. So you can't get that figure separate. So what I might do
if you
is
want
get
the head
the 2-pack.
sculpt, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that if I'm right, that robed one where he's just in the robes without the armour, you can only get that in the 2-pack.
Correct.
Yeah, so
yeah, you're right, yeah.
What I might do is get it and then just split out the other bobber and just keep the...
Yeah, you'll go.
Yeah, and then when a new bobber comes out, get that.
Yeah.
Could be the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, so that was our little haul. So let's go straight into... That's not the right one. That was a little banner. Look at that.
Hey.
I was thinking I was being professional. So let's try that again. Let's go into...
New releases.
There we go. So we have the man, the myth, the legend. Lando. So on Sideshow, he's still available for about 176 quid. But in Hong Kong at the moment, they're going for around 160.
Yep.
I like it, but I'm worried.
Right.
Because I don't like those loops under the arms.
No.
And I very much, every time I see photos of this, for every decent photo I see a bullshit one. Where he looks really fat.
Yeah. Apparently he's got a fat suit under there. So, I mean, it might be worth having a go at taking it out. Yeah, so I've had this on pre-order since day one. Because I've got to have a Lando. I've got the Sideshow one, which is a half decent figure, to be honest. The head sculpt's not bad, just a bit on the big side from and lacking any detail. There's not a lot of detail to it. Yeah, so I think overall, the head sculpt's probably 8 out of 10 best. But as you say, if you can capture the right angle, he looks pretty good.
So I don't have any complaints with the head sculpts. I really like it.
Yeah. I think the cape, you're right, but I think it's nothing that a bit of magnet work might, with magnets.
What I don't get is when you look at stuff like the Kylo Ren cape, that just is very similar to this, just clips on with magnets.
Yeah.
And you're using the piece over the shoulders. When I think about the Sideshow one years back, I can't remember how that clipped. That was just round the neck, wasn't it?
Yeah. Billy was shredded, yeah. So I'm kind of so we've both got this. I've got this on the way, and you just ordered one a couple of days ago. And as you say, I think what's happened here is they've he's released a bit early, and as we know, I think Star Wars doesn't sell too well in Hot Toys home market, the Asian market, and I think by the looks, what looks like happened is this is very low demand, if you like. So I think the whole lot is shipped all in one go. So Sideshow got it, all the Hong Kong sellers got it. I don't know about the UK ones, how what's happening there, but basically I think there's excess stock out there because Toys by an Agent have dropped the price a couple of times now, so to the point where you've jumped on it. We talk about 165 quid, which is in this day and age for a brand new Hot Toys, you can't knock that. I'm seeing it as pretty much because I've got the Sideshow one. Then I might have a look and see. People are saying, well, you can swap bits out. It's just a case of whether or not they're the right length, like the trousers and things like that. And
what, swap out with the old Sideshow one, or
like swap out the trousers, because people are saying he hasn't got the bell bottoms on this one, and and the shoes might be they're pleather and things like this. So I think I'm going to just have a look at the two and see whether I can kind of, if there's anything that is better on one, then I'll just make a kind of ultimate figure. But I like him. I think he looks cool. So the cape, I might have a look at doing something with some magnets.
I don't know why they just didn't put some Velcro somewhere.
Yeah,
then again,
Velcro
if you put Velcro on the shoulders, that middle picture would look fucking horrendous.
It would. So it's all very much down to, and really, I should display without the cape because I've kind of got my Empire bit there is the sort of the Bespin escape. I know he hasn't got the cape at that point, but then the cape's really nice, so you kind of you want to display it. But
he does ditch the cape fairly early on.
He does.
So he kind of comes out with it, and then I don't really remember it being on with him much after that.
No, it doesn't. So I think it's interesting that obviously this hasn't been as popular as perhaps it might have been. And I think, like we were talking just before the show, that I think that because we haven't got the Bespin Han, we haven't had the Bespin escape layer, which would have been such an easy sell for Hot Toys. Change the boots, ditch the puffer jacket, and you've got...
Well, they've got all the parts.
Exactly.
Literally all the parts sitting there.
Yeah. They've got the head sculpt. You can do it. It's just a slight change, and that I modded. And obviously they teased that 2.0 Bespin Luke. So I think people are being a bit cagey that if they've not already got a DX07 and they've not put together their own Bespin Han or whatever, that they're worried that hand's never coming, and do they want a Lando without a Bespin Han? So I can understand why it's maybe not sold as much as it might have done if the the Empire line was a bit more fleshed out, to be honest.
Yeah,
but it works in our favour if as people that want the figure. So
what I can see happening with this is people start to part it out for the sculpts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the body and all of that, and and then it'd become one of those. And plus, if you don't jump on it now, you can tell. Give it a couple of years, and this would be like.
That's
Dooku.
the thing, because
this will be exactly like Count Dooku, where you can't pick one up.
Say there's only 500 of them in the whole world, and a few get parted out and stuff. All of a sudden, they're going to become quite a rare figure. And then if eventually down the line we do get the other Bespin figures, or people say fuck it, I'm going to spend the money and do the customs, and they want this guy, it's going to be hard to find.
Oh yeah.
So I think if you want him, if you even half want him, at the sort of prices you can get him on today, I just jump on it and get one.
Because at the moment he's sitting cheaper than the Sideshow one.
Yeah. Yep. I know.
So yeah, jump on it. If you've even got a twinge, do it. Just fucking get on.
And he comes with the E11 Stormtrooper blaster as well, for that he has in the obviously in the escape scenes. So it's
Zero Gravitas. Hey, it works. Just popping into the like button. Nice
Thank
one. You need to drop us a message because you won that last comp. Zero Gravitas.
The turtle one.
Yes, hurry up before the end of the month, otherwise you end up losing it. But yeah, drop us a PM on however you want, really. Smoke signals, whatever. Yeah, and then we had the Shore Trooper squad leader for 160 quid.
Shore Trooper with the skirt.
With the skirt, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, if I hadn't been caned for pre-orders, I'd pick this up. 160 quid.
Yeah.
I really like it.
It's a great looking armour. It's definitely the standout from obviously this is from the Rogue One line, but we've seen them again in Mando. And it's a cool look. It's so much different to a lot of the other Stormtroopers, and like the weather and stuff. So it's really nice.
Completely different. I really, really like it.
Yes.
Some people have complained about the little skirt bit being too thin, and
I was listening to the. Just have it as a normal.
I mean, you could do. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. No. I was listening to the CW guys debating on if it's a reissue or not.
Yeah.
Just like, for fuck's sake.
No, it's not.
It is a completely different figure. Different figure.
And it's only the people that have spent £500-600 on one of these because they thought they'd never see one again that are feeling burnt on it.
Anyone who spends that much money on a standard 1/6 figure is a fucking mug.
Yeah.
Like, deserve everything you fucking get for being that fucking ridiculous. But yeah, I really like it. Like I said, if I had a spare 160 quid, I would be all over it like a tramp on a bag of chips.
And I love these photos as well. They're really
the photos are fantastic.
Yeah,
normally the blogger photos are just shit, but these are really good.
Yeah, when they put them out in the environment and they get the right sort of, they can look really good. I really like them.
Yeah. There we go. Probably Mark Pearson. Probably the best design Trooper by Disney, like the tank driver arm. Also, really good.
Yeah.
Really like it. And then we got more Star Wars. We got the Tuscan Raider that Pete hates for £185.
This I don't like. Yeah.
So I don't mind it. The thing I don't like about it is how perfectly clean it is.
Yeah.
It needs a bit of weathering. Now they weren't caked in shit in the program. They were quite clean.
Yeah.
But it just needs a bit of something.
Yeah, and I think that comes down to the fact that I don't think Hot Toys really do weathering on clothing, do they? They do weathering on they do weathering on trooper armor and stuff. But then the problem you get there is if you buy more than one, then they have identical weathering. So I think with something like this, you've got to go clean really, and then obviously all you got to do is pick up a set of the Tamiya weathering powders with the sand colour in, and just start, don't go overboard, but just start working it into the edges and the, exposed ends of the clothing and everything, and you get, around the bottom and the boots and stuff like that.
It looks like a cosplayer. This Tuscan's been doing some good eating.
Yeah, well, this is the problem. I've been reading a lot of the groups on it, and that's what they're saying is that really I don't know the actual ins and outs of it, but they keep saying that the people that played the Tuscan Raiders in Mando were essentially cosplayers or glorified cosplayers. So I think they reached out to groups that dressed as these people and kind of brought them in. So they weren't quite right, but they've become kind of canon because they're in the universe. So
I know the story around the wraps around the arms.
Right.
Is one of the guys who was playing them was deaf.
Yes.
So his wraps were always tight around the arms, so he could do the sign language and incorporate it into the story.
Yes.
Which is why they've all got wraps around their arms, so you can see their hands better.
Correct. Yeah, and that makes sense, and they've got they've got a shorter armed outer robe as well, so it's not obscured. So I think, I don't mind all the pouches and the packs and stuff. The outfit's okay with a bit of weathering. It's the head sculpt that bothers me, because I think in the original trilogy one, and I know we're not talking about that, this is a Mando version, and it looks like the one that was on screen, so that's fine. I was interested in it in terms of having it for a New Hope version, but to me, I don't know, the face looks a bit goofy. I think the eyes are too small, or the eye pipes, the tubes, the especially in that middle picture, it doesn't look menacing enough to me. And it's disappointing that they didn't cloth wrap the sculpt, and it's just a moulded plastic.
Yeah, you see, the sculpt doesn't bother me too much.
No,
I mean, in general, it doesn't, other than it being super clean, it doesn't bother me.
No, I like the weapons. I might try and pick up the weapons.
Yeah, because again, I'd probably take the fat suit off.
Yeah,
just because it doesn't need it. I don't know.
No, and what are they eating out there? They're not going to be putting on timber like that, are they? Eating roaches and locusts and stuff, whatever they. But
I don't get Hot Toys' fascination with putting bodysuits and everything.
No.
Fat suits, sorry.
No, and on these, they should look baggy, all the robes and stuff, just like they're hanging off of them. And with that fat suit, he's really bulking that out. And obviously the scarf, I think, is just removable if you don't, because they don't have that in the original. But it's funny because those, because I've done my custom Tuscan Raider that I'm more than happy with. The gaffy stick that came with it, to start with, it looked too thick, so I was like, I can't use that. And I've given them the ones from the Mythos Obi-Wan. But when you look at these, actually the Obi-Wans, they're far too small and thin. I guess they were a bit of an
designed to.
Yeah, exactly.
They're designed to sit on the backpack,
just to hang on the back. So they probably thought, well, actually, we'll sort of scale them down to about 75%, And it's only when I noticed these, I was like, actually, you know, they are a lot thicker and chunkier. So if I ever see like one of the gaffy sticks or something parted out, I might pick one up. Yes, Raving Rabbids. Yeah, definitely. Spot on, Mitchell.
I wish you hadn't said that, because that's all I'm going to see now.
Yeah, that's it. He's nailed it. That's what.
Yeah.
So decent release, and if you don't mind the Mando look, I think you know you can't go wrong with the price. But yeah, not for me. But
yeah, what was the price on that again? That was,
you said 185, I think.
185. Yeah, 185.
Yeah, and again, I think this dropped a bit earlier than expected. So I think we're seeing a bit of catch up, aren't we, from the whole COVID shipping container farcical stuff from last year. So
yeah, the shenanigans of life.
They're coming thick and fast, and it's hurting the wallets. But yeah.
At the moment, Hot Toys has my wallet chained up in their basement for its own sexual gratification.
Yeah,
that's how much they are absolutely fucking punishing it. It's ridiculous.
I know. It's a hard time to be a Star Wars fan, I think.
It's a hard time just to collect toys. It's just horrendous.
Yeah.
So while we're on Hot Toys and chaining things up, we have the Hot Toys Arkham Harley Quinn for £201 plus postage.
That's a Steve one. We haven't got him on tonight, but I assume he's got this coming.
I think it's I think there's a bear shit in the woods.
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
Definitely in this.
He's the biggest fan of the Arkham stuff that I know. Anyway,
I mean, I would pick this up if I had an Arkham Joker. If I had an Arkham Joker, I'd be all on this. But at the moment, Arkham-wise, I've got Deathstroke and Batman, and that's it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I'm a bit like, well, if I get Harley, I need to get Joker, but then Joker's so fucking expensive that I ain't gonna do it.
Right. How does this? Yeah.
This figure scares me with the seamless elbows. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say with Hot Toys track record. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. If it was a Fison, I wouldn't be too worried with the angle they've got there. But yeah. So how does it? I mean, I can't really comment because I've not played the game. But is it a good representation of what was in the game?
It's spot on. I've got no complaints at all about the way it looks. It looks exactly like it's jumped out of the game. Which is
and
great.
I suppose it's an easier job, isn't it? Because they're not depicting an actual actress, you know. So it's a humanistic face in the game, but it's probably easier for them to capture that likeness, and you don't have to be, 100% on it for it to look. It can look a bit off, but it's good enough. So I think they're always good, these figures, because you're not going to be disappointed with the head sculpt, because as long as it looks like a good representation of a human face, it works.
Yeah, and like I said, it looks really good. It looks just like it's jumped out of the game. So I've got no complaints at all.
No.
Price is a little bit steep.
What's the price on that one?
£201.
Yeah, it comes with quite a few accessories though, doesn't she? She's got the
does
jack
come
in the
with
box
a fair bit.
and the bat, and the gun looks cool.
Yeah, you've got the machine gun and that.
Yeah.
So,
and the outfit's quite sort of complicated and lots of different materials and stuff. So I think probably if you're into that, I think that's probably quite a good.
Yeah, it's just like Ryan says with them elbows. Yeah, that's the only bit that I'd be a little bit worried about. Is that okay? I'm spending £200. Have I got to have it standing bolt upright? Mm-hmm. You know, because when you think about Harley Quinn, you kind of want that baseball bat type pose.
You want a bit of a sort of dynamism in it. Yeah,
it's really hard to pose a figure without bending the elbows. So it would be and they are very, very skinny elbows as well. Like the arms are very skinny, so the metal skeleton underneath is going to be quite close.
Popping out the back.
Yeah, and if we look at stuff like Wonder Woman and things like that, it doesn't. They've got form for it. So
they have.
Yeah. I wouldn't have to swap the body out.
Improved them a bit, but no, definitely not.
Yeah, and then this came out, which I was quite surprised. This was only today, wasn't it?
Yeah,
This is the Starship Force Toys Team Leader at £125.
Yeah, so this is the deluxe one with the alien base.
Yes,
and there's if that's is that the price for the basic one? Or,
so I think that's the basic, because that's all I could find.
I think it's about £200 or something to have the base. But yeah, it looks good. I mean, that's all the pictures I saw thus far. Obviously need to see some better pictures of the figure and everything, but it looks pretty decent from what I can see there.
From what I've seen of it, it looks really good.
Yeah,
really,
again,
really
I think Steve's picking this one up.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
it doesn't surprise me.
So it'd be interesting it'd be good to see how some proper setup post pictures of that. But yeah, I like it, and it's a great film. Starship Troopers.
Yeah, and if you can pick up another couple of the standard ones, you've got enough bases there to kind of make the rest of the squad.
Yeah.
Just obviously a couple of new bodies for the women and a couple of new head sculpts and stuff. But I like it. If I had, like I said, if I had the cash, I wouldn't know where to fucking put it. But
yeah, the cash in the room, then
Now I would 100% get. This is the Rocky Goes Bowling figure, which everyone else knows as the CyberX Studio Coach for £127. I think it's safe to say we ripped this figure a new arsehole once was when it was previewed, and
we had a lot of fun with this one,
and it makes me want it. It's a terrible figure, but it makes me want it just so.
I just seen that the baby photo again. It's just like what
the grand prize of the bowling tournament, an unborn child. It's just funny. I've seen all the Rocky films, and I've seen I've seen them all, and I just don't remember much about this particular bit. But Rocky Goes Bowling. That's what I want it for.
Yeah, I know.
Little bowling bag.
Print him off a little bowling ball. 3D print that little bag.
Yeah,
that'd be fantastic.
A little sticker for the stand. Rocky Goes Bowling.
Yeah,
and then fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am tempted. 127 quid. So if it's there when I get paid, I am tempted. Super tempted. But yeah, great. That's that one. And then we have the I can't remember what episode it was, Anthony, but go back and have a look because there's a whole backstory of Rocky Goes Bowling and enters a tournament.
Ian told the whole plot of the movie. It was great.
Yeah, it was way better than the actual film.
Yeah.
So this is the 12 o'clock Arms Master for 135 quid, and this is from the film something of War.
God of War
with Nicolas Cage, obviously.
Like that?
Yeah, something like that. He's an arms dealer. Yeah. I think this looks pretty good. It's a weird film to make a figure of.
Yeah,
it really is.
It is. It's kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, I think. But
in fact, Anthony, if you go on Instagram, look for clips, and I think they're like the only set of clips OFAC has actually put up is all about Rocky Goes Bowling. But yeah, back Lord of War. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Lord of War. Yeah.
It's not Kratos, is he?
No. So yeah, it's just a weird figure that you would want.
Yeah, that watch looks bad. It looks like an Action Man one that I had like
taken off
years ago.
Ken doll, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just shit.
I suppose if you desperately want a Nick Cage head sculpt for something else, then
but these other figures they've done from better films.
Yeah,
it's just random. I mean, look, if people like it and it tickles your pickle, more the power to you. But
and you want a couple of bags of bullet casings.
Yeah. If you want that and a 80s phone and briefcase, then go for it. So that was pretty much everything new out that we saw, that we noticed. So let's have a look at
coming soon.
Right, this one, the one that everyone likes. Hot Toys Loki from Loki for 247 quid at Q1, Q2 2023. I really like the sculpt. I think it's a really nice looking figure.
Yeah. He's got his variant jacket as well, which is cool. And the little time, I don't know, I forget what her name is, but the little
the little clock thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
The name of it.
And the little computer and everything. So, it's quite pricey though, isn't he?
I think that.
But it's the new normal. Problem. It's the new normal, but.
And I hate the fact that's the new normal. Like I despise the fact that's the new normal.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I would be picking this up. I go, yep, that's enough to pull me back into
Yeah.
Marvel, not a problem. But for 250 odd quid.
And it's even worse when you look at the next figure, because he comes with quite a lot of accessories.
Yeah.
You know, if that's the new normal, he's got quite a few good bits there. He's got some effects, he's got weapons, he's got the...
But let's look at the accessories, though, and what they've listed has accessories.
Right.
So we've got the shoes and trousers.
Yeah,
Not really
they're getting
really
into
an
that
accessory.
game. Yeah.
Yep. The jacket, not really an accessory.
No.
We've got the time watch thing there, not really an accessory. It's a watch, it's part of clothing.
Yeah.
And then we've also got, is that the stand? Not really an accessory. And some hands.
Yeah,
Again,
it's got like a portal,
not really an accessory.
portal background, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so once they've started padding figures out with hands and shoes
Yeah.
and trousers,
yeah.
I just think, you cheeky cunts, 150 quid and you're telling me shoes and trousers are an accessory?
Yeah.
Go get fucked. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, no. So I'm gonna call shenanigans on that one.
Yeah.
But then we have Sylvie
And she comes with dick all.
with absolutely 2 parts of fuck all.
Yeah.
Hello, Bob Dylan.
Hey.
Words I never thought I'd ever utter.
Yeah. love your work.
So Sylvie, 237 quid with 2 parts of fuck all, out
Yeah.
about the same time, Q1, Q2, 2023.
Yeah, and I'm not so keen on the head sculpt on this one.
Oh, I like it. It's a bit fierce.
You like it, do you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit like I'm going to absolutely fucking destroy you.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
looks...
she's pissed.
Yeah, she's very pissed.
Yeah.
But yeah, you again. So if they're going to pad out accessory panels, Loki wasn't the one I would have padded out.
No.
This is the one that you would have
Yeah.
gone. Look, we've got more hands, and look, a cape, a coat, and we've got some legs. There you go.
Yeah. So she's very bare bones, and for pushing 240 quid. It's...
I mean, I agree with the CW guys about a 2-pack.
Yeah.
I think.
Why would
Loki,
you want her without him?
I think Loki you could get away with on its own.
Yeah, definitely.
Sylvie, not so much. So I think they should have done a single pack of Loki, and then like they did with Boba, where you can only get the cloaked Boba.
Yeah, no, I
in
totally
the
agree.
2-pack. Do that. Do Sylvie and Loki as a 2-pack.
And do the 2 for 400 or something, so you get a little bit of a cost saving in there. But
yeah. But on the whole, I think it's a fairly decent release. Is it 240 quid's worth? Don't think so.
No, but again, it's just where we are.
Yep, and as we're about to see, that is pretty much the standard pricing, because Elena, or whatever the fuck her name
Elena.
is. Elena. 250 quid again, out January to March 2023. Now, I quite like this. I think the head sculpt's good.
I think the head sculpt's amazing, yeah.
I like the design. She was an excellent character.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like this. If I was into Marvel and I had a Black Widow, this would be a pick-up. Definitely.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it looks really cool.
But again, they've been a bit weird with the accessory panels again. We've got feet.
Yeah.
We've got holsters, which you would never get away with saying is an accessory.
No, hands and the base.
And the hands and the base again.
Stripy sticks. A gun and a headset.
Yeah, so I get most of it, but the shoes I tend to draw the line at.
Yeah. Well, I suppose they're just trying to show you the detail of them, aren't they? But as you know, they're trying to highlight the quality of different.
But is that something we need highlighted? Shoes, like that if they were notorious for great clumpy Action Man boots, fine, show us these beautifully crafted boots. But don't piss on my shoe and tell me it's raining.
No, I think the thing is we're all used to this format of this is how they represent new figures, and all the other companies copy it. So I suppose they've got into this thing where they've got this middle section, and back in the day, 5-10 years ago, those things were chock-a-block with extras because we used to get so much extra stuff, and now they're kind of stuck with this format, and they're like, what the fuck are we going to put in there? we've got nothing, you know. So I can kind of see why. But yeah, it does make you laugh sometimes when you think, oh yeah, they got trousers. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, exactly. I thought I was going to get.
Is that just the deluxe?
No trousers.
Or...
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but no, it looks good. Looks good. But yeah, 250. Yeah.
Yeah, and this
makes me glad I'm not out of the Marvel game. To be honest, it's
yeah, me too. And this is the thing: the prices of stuff now are making me rethink everything. Where stuff before, without, I mean, you've only got to look at my pre-order list. There was stuff where I had a mild passing interest in. Where I was like, I'll pre-order it. I think I might like that.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, no, not for me. But yeah, nice figure.
I think if you're trying to run a Star Wars line and a Marvel line at the moment, it's too much. It's too expensive. You gotta make your choice, and I think a lot of people have. You know, I think that's quite a dividing line. You know, you can either, a lot of people can say they're either Star Wars or they're Marvel now, because that's where the bulk of the Hot Toys stuff's coming from, isn't it?
Yeah. So Bob here says she's more expensive than Taskmaster or Black Widow, and shipping costs. I've no idea what the shipping cost is. It all depends on where you live, and
yeah.
So normally I pay. Say if I get it from Sideshow, shipping is normally about 35-40 quid, so you'd probably have to bung that on top.
Yeah.
And then obviously tax and things like that. Unless you go HK, then you'd have to bother. Bad Fish says I'm pretty much done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, except for Spider-Man. I see the Spider-Man stuff is the stuff that always niggles at me. That I'm like, I do like Spider-Man, and I like I like the figures. So I'm always, every time I see them, I'm like, really could, but then I'll just go all nuts over Spider-Man, and then I'm just back into Marvel.
Yeah, because it kind of you can set it aside from the rest of the Marvel. It is almost its own thing. But as you say, once you get into Spider-Man, you'd be like, oh, well, I want that one, and I want that, and I want this to go with them.
Then I want a Venom, and I want
and it's dangerous again. You know,
big time.
Yeah,
big time. Yeah. So this next one has me super tempted. So DC got a little bit of love the other day. Hot Toys have teased the new quarter scale Dark Knight Batman.
Will it be a straight re-release?
I don't care if it is or not. I'm really tempted.
Yeah,
I am tempted so much that I might even cancel my 6 scale version.
Okay. Yeah.
And get the quarter scale. And before I had the quarter scale Darth Vader, I never would have done that. No. Now looking at the detail on the quarter scale Vader, I'm thinking.
I know that was a great figure, that quarter scale Dark Knight Rises, and you got all the different accessories from the different villains and stuff like that. It was a very nice. And did they kind of fix all the issues with the cowl and stuff that was off with the 6 scale stuff? Was it all okay on that?
I believe so. I believe so. I think it was just a giant version of the Armory Batman, which was the better one.
Yeah.
I'd be very, very tempted. It's a bit of a. I agree with what the guys on CW are saying about there must be something to do with licensing, because there's a lot of Bell stuff coming out lately.
Yeah.
But this has always been a stupidly expensive figure.
Yeah.
I don't care what they say. One of the best figures I've owned. Yeah.
So why did you sell him, Ryan? I'm interested to know why you sold him. Was it just to fund other stuff, or because you're going to come back and buy him again? So,
but it's space.
It could be, yeah. Especially if it's exactly the same figure. You can understand if it's updated or anything, but it could just be a straight reissue. So, or whether he's just gone down that merry-go-round we've all done, where we've gone into a line and then we've just ditched it all and then come back to it, 10 years later, whatever. But
like me with Empire, which is the exact reason I didn't pre-order the Lando,
because at the time Jedi,
I was going all into Jedi.
And
slowly I've shifted back to Empire. So
now I've just space at the time. Yeah,
and that's the thing with quarter scales. I mean, my quarter scale Vader's up there in a cube on its own. I used to have it mixed in with other stuff. You couldn't see it because there was just too much stuff in the way of it. So it takes a whole cube up on its own. When you're short for space, it does bite. You kind of go, oh, fuck. That's like another 6 to 8 figures I can get in that bestie cube.
Yeah.
Whereas I've got Vader, and he looks, don't get me wrong, he looks fucking badass, and he's like a big centerpiece. But and there's times where I'm like, right, I need to give Peter Bell and see if he wants to buy it off me.
Yeah. And then, don't, mate, don't, because I haven't got the money for it.
Nah, and I've had a couple of people go, I'll have it off you. And I'm like, no, I love it. It's there. Rainer did me a solid with it. I love it. It's just a space. It's
one of those ones you'll regret, I think, if you do.
Yeah. To me, it sits there like with the DeLorean. It's a very cool piece. If I get rid of it now, I'm never going to be able to get it back. No. It's just going to be too expensive.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And they also... That was quarter scale.
Yeah.
But they've also announced they've got the license for Black Adam, the Batman, and the Flash.
So, no surprise, but it's obviously it's great news because we all know that Mr. Keaton is back in the Flash. Yep. And I think we've all been quite impressed with what we've seen of the Batman so far. And Black Adam, you can't go wrong with The Rock.
No. All three of these trailers I really liked, so yep. I'm quite happy.
We'll talk a little bit about them in the film and TV, but yeah.
The only thing that worries me a little bit, being I'm quite a big DC fan, is that they don't tend to give DC a lot of love. So I'm kind of so they would definitely do the Batman. Any version of Batman from the Flash, so we're guaranteed to get Black Adam, Batman, the Flash, and a Keaton Batman. They'd be mad not to.
Mm-hmm.
When we get them, and if they go the way of Superman, where they don't get a big take up and they just sit there and 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 sit there, till it eventually comes out, I think it might go that way.
Yeah.
Ryan, fingers crossed for a Batman Returns reissue. It'd
be interesting, wouldn't it? Because they won't reissue. It'll be whatever the suit is. Do we know it's the return suit or the? I assume it's the return
just
suit.
Saw an outline.
Because that's the, if you like, in terms of the movies, that's the later
the last one he wore.
Improved suit, but it's going to have an old face. So I don't think it's going to be a reissue because it'll be the older Keaton in the 92 suit.
Because if they're smart about it,
do you think they're going to de-age him?
If there's some kind of flashback, doesn't matter for how long it is, you will start to see reissued 89 Batman.
Yeah, and this de-aging stuff, if they're only doing his mouth, then it's going to work. But interestingly, the I don't think it was in this trailer; it was in an earlier one. The Batmobile appears to be a 4-seater now.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think Hot Toys are going to be re-releasing it, to be honest, with 4 seats. But
yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that if he is an older version, they can start to explain. Well, he had a Robin at some point, and he had this, and he had that. So which might be why he.
I'd be really up for an older version. I think that'd be cool.
I would.
100%. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, no, but I think something to look forward to there. Look forward to seeing what they come up with from there.
Yeah, definitely. And then something that we're not looking forward to. This is the Mirage Hack Wallish Scottish Hero. Bit of a mouthful. £290 out Q2 2023. I mean, so to me, the sculpts with makeup look infinitely better.
Yeah.
Than I think. How did Steve put it? The Fabio.
Yeah, Fabio when he played William Wallace. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the one with the war paint is just about passable.
But you only know who it is because the paint.
It's got the war paint. Yeah. Exactly. If you took all the paint off that sculpt and the hair and the costume, you wouldn't know who it was meant to be. I don't think.
No.
I mean, obviously, it's costing a lot of money for the hair. You got 2 sculpts. You got the rooted hair. The fabric might be really nice. I mean, it's got the tartan. Obviously, the tartan cloth on it and everything. If that's a decent material, I can kind of see where the costs, if it's metal weapons and stuff like that. But you've got to love this figure. Really love this movie.
Even then, £290.
Yeah.
If it was licensed and it was for a start, it wouldn't be this terrible. But if it was licensed, and it sat at £290, I would understand.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. fuck that for a game of soldiers.
Yeah.
That is not good. I mean, to tell a lie, I'm not going to be a complete cunt about it. Everything from the chin down looks great.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm out.
Yeah.
So Bad
Yeah,
Fish is coming with... I'm a bit of a completist with Star Wars, but I still skip some. I'm willing to take away from other areas of Star Wars. Can have more, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, well, we're all playing this game now, aren't we? We have to
Yeah.
pick and choose. We can't just have everything
That's the
we
thing.
want. And,
Luckily, no one's going to pick this fucking thing.
no, it's just funny because, I mean, I'm not aware of the company, Mirage Hack, and, you know, it says they're 003, so we're assuming they've had 2 other figures solicited at some point. It's a heck of a lot of money to go in.
It's the Fabio line.
It's just
Fabio in different films.
Oh, beautiful.
So they had their first release was Fabio as all of the Ghostbusters. So that was fabulous. Their second release was Fabio as the Hulk.
Bowling. Fabio
Fabio
the
goes.
Hulk,
Yeah. Which
bowling
he also went
as
bowling.
the Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is a good one. Bad Fish. William the Neanderthal.
Yeah.
I like that.
It just seems like a very
Mark
high
Pearson.
price to go in as, you know, it's unlicensed and you're a very new company.
Yeah. It's just... I'm not going to split hairs about it. It's shit.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, not for us. Let's just say that. And then we have the Present Toys Hannibal.
This looks better.
This looks a lot better. I just wish they would release something. Would have been
Yeah,
anything
this
at
is like,
point.
you know, this is number 36 now we've got here, PT36.
I'm
And
getting
we've had
to
2
the point.
figures, I think.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I would be happy if they just released a stale fart. Anything
Yeah.
at this point, because this is it's starting to get a little bit silly.
Well, Indy should have come out by now. And
Indy and their weird
through
Winnie
the
the Boy
boy
figure.
Through the boy, yeah.
Yeah.
This is good. I think it's a pretty decent Mads Mikkelsen likeness. It's got some cool stuff. I mean, obviously, the standout for me, and I think most of us, is the seamless forearms. Because I think we're all at this point, and we've got something a bit later on, where we all want, and me particularly for my couple of Cairo Indies, is some of these forearms. Now, there's been a few have come out for a samurai figure, and they've teased some other ones, but they've not come out yet. We've got these here, and there's another body that's coming out with some. And I really want to get hold of some, but it's a case of what comes first and what's, you know, I mean, I don't really want to buy a whole figure. I don't mind buying a couple of 40 quid bodies, because then 2 sets of the arms would do all of my figures that I'd want them for.
Yeah.
But it's good. I think it's a good thing that we're starting to see these now, because quite often the thing that really tears you away from the figure is those wrist pegs, isn't it?
And I thought it for years. Is why on earth? Why has no one done it? Like it doesn't. Because I tend to. Do you know the real cheap nasty bodies that come with the tiny wrist pegs?
Yeah.
So I tend to use those pegs a lot.
Yeah, they're better because you can hide. They tend to
they
go
hide
into
better.
they go into the hand more, don't they? So there's less of them showing.
Yeah, you get less of that gap.
You know, if you've got a figure that's got a sleeve top, or you can put a watch on, or things like that, then you can get away with it. Thank you, sir. But
I like that. I might get that in a t-shirt. Go OFAC yourself.
yes, but yeah, I think sometimes you just need something with a seamless wrist, and it's good to see that, you know, that's something that's really coming along now. So,
because if you think about, I mean, if you go and look in most people's collections and look at the positioning of the hands, they're either, if they're holding a sword, they're kind of bent like that.
Yep.
They're either got a fist on, or they've just got a relaxed hand,
or a pistol.
Yeah, there's very few ways you can hold that. It's only really when you start to do kind of photography and you're getting him to hold on like hand with his hand on his belt. You kind of need that.
Yes. Yeah.
But he has long sleeves, so you can get away with it.
Yeah, you can get away with it. Yeah, you can pull the sleeves down, but you know, some figures, you know, like Cairo Indies is the main one I can think of, and why people want these is, you know, he's got his sleeves rolled up, and the pegs they're annoying.
When you go through your collection, I bet there's loads that you go, actually, I do for that.
It's funny. I was going through. I've identified a few. Even my my DX07 Luke. The way I've got his arm up with the pistol, that would work really well with the seamless one because So there's probably 3 or 4 figures that I could really use them on. I'm definitely. So we'll come on to the body in a bit. I don't think it's out yet, but I think people are going to start snapping them up.
But I think this comes with a decent amount of accessories.
Yeah,
it looks nicely tailored. But at this point, they just need to get some more stuff out the door.
Yeah,
so we can see what the quality is like, because they've had a few releases. It's not that they haven't released anything, but the speed of which they are putting things up for pre-order is starting to get a little bit worrying.
Yeah, we've got 36 now, and I think they've released 3, 4 maybe.
So I won't pre-order anything present toys until I've started to see some stuff come out.
And I'm really interested to see how that indie turns out, because I'd like it to be good. Because it's always good if you've got a new base for people to sort of start working on indies, because it's got very expensive. But at the same time, it could be arse, and I just interested to know either way, and whose sculpts they have ripped off. Is it Inigo sculpts, and what's the jacket like and stuff like that. So come on, present toys, get your finger out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So and then we had this 75% diecast thing. Flashpoint Studios Doomsday Lightning Man. Again, what a fucking mouthful. 164 quid.
They've done well there. Come on.
They did, out Q1 2022. I like the look of this. I'm not going to get it. No. I do wonder what the decision was, like why they went diecast with it.
Yeah. Because this is just the scene from the end of Justice League, right?
Yeah.
It's like a future Flash.
For me, it's just completely unnecessary to go diecast with it.
Well, you could knock it out quite a bit cheaper with plastic, couldn't you?
Yeah, like what's the advantage?
Yeah.
Of it being diecast, like none of that. You could have done all of that out of plastic.
Yeah.
Like every other toy known to man.
Yeah.
Because the only reason I say that is the weight on the joints.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to want a Flash that just stands there. They're going to be running pose.
Yeah.
And with all that weight on the joints, is it just gonna come down? Yeah, potentially bad fish. It's just a marketing thing, but yeah. I mean, as a whole, it looks nice. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks like a nice figure.
Take me through these accessories, Ian.
The hands, the shoulder pad.
Yeah,
shoulder pads.
Yeah, and then the batarang is really the only accessory. It's just funny.
Pretty much.
I'm not quite sure what they're trying to show. Is that the 2 levels of the? It doesn't look like the shoulder pads on.
Is that? Is that's the visor?
Yes.
Must be the visor.
It's got a red and a grey and a silver
so I'm
one.
Guessing then the red one is from the flashback. The very first flashback scene where he wakes Bruce up in the chair,
right?
And the other one is from the end of the film where you see them all. Yeah. So Bob Dylan, Flashpoint, Doomsday Revealer, and this Flash would go nicely with the reissue Nightmare Batman. But someone will make a poncho and minigun for Cyborg to fill out the Nightmare display. Yeah, you can guarantee someone will. 100%. But yeah, this doesn't offend me too much. It's just a lot of diecast for no reason. Yes, Toys Battalion, Mars Guardian, 125 quid at Q1 2022. I quite like this, apart from those god-awful joints. But then it's a newly designed body, so what are you going to do?
Yeah. It's obviously a lot of... I suppose since Hot Toys finally came out with their Cyborg, I suppose that people are thinking, well, okay, there's been a bit of a renewed, and obviously with the Snyder Cut, there's been a bit of a renewed interest in Justice League and stuff, and people trying to complete their set. So this one makes sense, but he was a bit of a pain. He was a bit useless in the film, wasn't he? He just went, do you know what? I can't be fucking bothered. If Darkseid turns up, I might chip him, but you know,
he literally
was a
sat there. He just sat there and went, Steppenwolf, that's probably the biggest, baddest thing this planet's ever seen so far.
Yeah.
But it's fine, I'm not that worried. And then the way they kind of explained it was because he knew Superman could deal with it. And I was like, the fucker was dead for half of it. He wasn't even there. Just the way he rocks up at the end. Yeah, I know I fucked up. Sorry about that. But next time I'll be there.
Next
promise.
time I'll have your back, yeah.
Yeah, and then just fucking flies off again. You think, if I was Bruce Wayne, I'd be standing there going, you absolute dickhead.
Bellend, fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off. We don't want nothing to do with your dick.
No.
You big green bellend, fuck off.
So, I've not no interest in it for me. You know, but if you're a completist on that line, then
I think all these kind of DC figures that are based on Justice League and stuff like that. I think if you're a general DC fan and you want to do a Justice League, forget about forget about the film. You just want a general Justice League. Stuff like this, brilliant, because it fills a hole. You can have your Martian Manhunter without having to go down some weird and wonderful custom route that I've seen people do. It fills that hole, but the character itself is just an absolute fucking knob in the film.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so talking of massive knobs, we've got Mars Toys Mr. Tony. So we don't have a price or a release date on this yet. Now this is a packed out accessory panel. We have the shoes again, but at least they've had the decency to take them off the figure.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. So this is him from Iron Man 3, because he's got the little blood test thing.
Yeah.
I think the sculpt on this is better on the left than it is the right.
Yeah, he looks a bit ill on the right. It looks very pale and drawn, doesn't it?
Oh, what if he reminds me of someone I've been watching something.
Yeah.
Yeah, lately, and he looks just like someone in it. And
there you go. If you want a custom figure of that person you can't remember, then buy Mr. Tony.
Oh, why does it look so familiar? That's gonna. Do you know what? Fuck the rest of the show. I'm gonna sit here and think about what the fuck it is.
He's gonna go through his Netflix list now. See what you've been watching.
I figured out who it is, and it's not what I've been watching. The child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is 100% it.
That is. It's right,
hang on. And so let me Google that, and we can bring that up so people see exactly what we're on about. Right, it is fucking all of it. It just looks really bad. Right, let's find. Yes, that one will do. That will do nicely. So, people on StreamYard, right? See if I remember how to share my screen. Share screen. Right. This one. This is it. That's what it reminds me of. The child catcher.
Yeah.
You see that? Yep.
Yeah,
that is definitely it on the right hand side. 100%.
Got it.
100% is that. Fucking hell. The child catcher. Brilliant.
Scary now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I can see is that now. Bob Dylan, yeah. Well, we've got no shortage of proper. That seems to be that. It reminds me of the Ledger Joker a few years ago. That was just all anyone ever pumped out. Yeah, and now we've got fucking Tony Stark as the child catcher. Fucking brilliant. So needless to say, I think that's a piece of shit that I don't want.
No, definitely not.
Now this I'm tempted by, but I know, give it 6 months, I'm not going to give a shit. This is the MTP Squid Soldier. So the full set's 70 quid, or the clothing set 60 quid, out Q4 2021. So the full set comes with a body and a sculpt that you don't see under the mask. Not bad if you really want something to represent Squid Game in your collection, but again I think this falls into that whole TV figure kind of realm,
Yeah.
where, let's put it this way: everyone was clambering, really was desperate for a Tiger King figure
Yeah.
a while ago. How many people actually went through with it, and how many people have probably got it in their collection now going,
why the fuck have I got that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for me. Bob, that is amazing. Now I finally have a use for the Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah, the grinning one, yeah.
Yeah, stick it under this. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't watched the show yet. I keep meaning to
watch it. It's fantastic. I binged it in a day.
Really?
It was absolutely, it's probably one of the better TV programs I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
The dubbing is something else.
Yes, I've read about how bad that is, but then it's like, do you want to bother reading the subs or just go with just take it, as it is?
Yeah, so well worth a watch. Very very good. If you want a figure of these guys on there, then happy days. I mean, if you are, I wouldn't go spending an absolute arm and a leg, because that would just be insanity. But for 70 quid or 60 quid, if you've got a body and like you say, an Ant-Man head laying about, they're not bad. Yeah, I mean, you've got the choice.
In a year or two's time, you might be like, why do I want that?
Yeah.
But
so you have a choice between the triangle, circle, and square.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see some people getting it, but not one for me. Because it's like Game of Thrones. It's going to be like that. It's going to, you're going to have figures that you kind of go, or like Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is probably more appropriate. It's going to be
I think
like
so,
that where...
because ultimately you just got someone in a boiler suit here, and a lot of the Breaking Bad stuff is very, they're just in jeans and a top or a hazmat suit, and it's kind of taking on its face value. It's not a very interesting figure, and so once your love for the source material kind of wanes a bit, you're going to be like, it's not really doing it for me anymore.
Because you can tell we will get a second series. There will be another series.
Oh,
so
well, yeah.
These guys will probably pop back in. But yeah, I don't know. Not great.
No.
And then we have the Infinite Studio Bela
Lugosi.
Fucking hell, Lugosi Dracula.
Yeah, Bela
They've
Lugosi.
teased. So they've only shown the coffin so far.
Yeah. So this is. There's been some shots. Dario Barbera is involved with this. He works with Infinite Statue. So he's shown some pictures of the paint up of the coffin and everything. I believe the day yesterday was the 139th birthday of Bela Lugosi, the original Universal Monsters Dracula. So obviously we've got a figure coming. Which we haven't seen anything of yet, but I'm very excited for that because as hammy as those old films are, to me they're like the definitive look for those characters, like Frankenstein's monster and Dracula and stuff. And the old Sideshow stuff was pretty good. I had some of them before, so it'd be interesting because obviously NECA are doing their new run of the Universal Monsters in the 7-inch scale, and I've got the Frankenstein's monster, and I've got Wolfman and Mummy on pre-order, and they're really good. But it'd be good to see 1/6. But somebody was saying that the license here is with Bela Lugosi and his image, not Dracula. So they'll have to kind of work around that. And it means that obviously they've not got a license with Universal Monsters. We're not likely to see any of the others coming. But that'd be cool. Coffin looks great. So I'm interested to see how this turns out.
I must admit, I'm always tempted by the old Sideshow ones. Because the tailoring looks really good. The sculpt looks really good. And I think with a bit of a fresh lick of paint, it could probably come out really well.
I think so, yeah, because I had Frankenstein's monster, I had the Wolfman and Dracula, and they made for a really good display. I did really like them, and I think I kind of got rid of them. I probably wish I had them now because I'd be able to do stuff with them. Whereas then I was thinking, well, they're taking up space. They're not the same standard as these Hot Toys that I'm picking up now, and they kind of went. But I expect you can't pick them up as cheap as. I think I was picking them up for like 40 quid each.
So the last one I saw on eBay when I was looking for some other bits, it was Dracula, and I think it was 67 quid.
That's good if
it was
you
going for.
Because they did like the silver screen versions of them as well, so you can either get the colour ones or the black and white ones.
Well, in terms of Dracula, if you're going to repaint it, it makes no difference, does it?
It doesn't, no, and it's funny because for ages I couldn't get, when I was trying to get the Sideshow Dracula, I couldn't get the coloured one. So I picked up a black and white one with the view to, repainting it or getting it repainted or whatever. And then I managed to find, I got a colour one anyway, so I ended up with the two. But yeah, no, the tailoring stuff's pretty nice on them, to be honest.
Yeah, I was really impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So someone's got... right, so Universal Monsters, Bela Lugosi's Dracula. And what the fuck is that? Oh, okay. They've got Dracula. They've got some weird fucking Frankenstein thing for 175. That was a bit weird.
Yeah.
Really
I mean, they're not.
Someone had one, and it was dirt cheap, and I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah. I think if you could pick any of them up for 50, 60 quid, it's worth a go. Do a body swap. 100%. You could make them look really good. I think now, and I say if I wish I had them now because I think I could, make them look a lot better than they were when I had them as stock, if you like, you know what I mean. But yeah, so that's cool. That's good.
Yeah. So we got bodies with hands and a blurred out dick.
Yeah. So this is the World Box AT020S. So they currently have the AT020 out, which has got standard forearms with the wrist pegs and swap out hands. But the difference with this one is we get 3 sets of forearms with seamless wrists. So there's kind of like 2 fists, there's 2 kind of open relaxed hands, and there's 2 sort of gripping trigger kind of sword holding hands.
So the AT20 has wrist pegs.
Correct, yeah. And this is an AT20S because the body shape is exactly the same.
Yes.
So this is kind of like a second version of that body. So no changes to the body apart from obviously from the elbow joints down. So they're double jointed. They look great. And if it's anything to go by, you probably these will be about 25-30 quid each.
Such a weird choice to do it without a neck. Because if you're the whole point of this is to get rid of the seams.
Correct.
So they give you the non-jointed wrists. Yeah. But then you have a big fucking ugly joint around the neck.
It is funny, and a lot of people I've seen saying, hopefully they'll bring out a necked version. I'm not bothered because I would kind of see if they were about the 30 quid mark, I'd just see the body as extra.
Yeah, you're looking at £10 a set of hands.
I'd happily pay 30 quid for those set of arms, and the body's just a bonus. So it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, if you wanted to use the whole thing for an indie or something like that.
Saying that though, I suppose if you didn't like joints, then you would be going with a neck sculpt anyway. So that would make sense.
Yes. Yeah. I think
ignore me. I'm being stupid. That was ridiculous.
I think it works, and if you've got a separate neck in there and a necklace sculpt, if it's got clothing, then it kind of covers all that up anyway. So I'm looking out for these because as soon as these hit the retailers, I'm probably going to get 2 or 3 of these. If they're the sort of standard price and they don't suddenly hike it up to something ridiculous because of the arms.
It's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I really, really like those. And like looking around, I'm kind of going, yep, it would do for that.
We know from that hand set that they brought out, their hands are really good. Yeah, they're very really, really well detailed. The paint on them's excellent and everything. So you're getting some really good quality sort of sculpts there on those hands. If you want,
are they hard plastic?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I imagine the arms are hard, and then they probably go into a slightly softer. I don't imagine they're completely rock solid, but
because the only thing I would be worried about is, do you know when you get the hands with the cheap bodies that are like really fucking hard?
Yeah.
you can't get anything into them. So regardless of if it's a fist, I'd be worried about paint rub. Like not so much on the hand of whatever you're trying to put into it. Like particularly if they do a trigger hand, if that's hard plastic, that is going to be a proper bastard to get anything into it. Same with the sword hand. So the sword hand, they would probably have to hollow out a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
Worry.
Yeah, I get what you mean, because normally on the body, the forearm would be hard plastic, and then the hand would be of a softer, slightly, malleable.
When I think about the normal kind of Hot Toys hands, I'd practically like fucking bend them wide open to get.
Oh yeah, you can, yeah. I would like to think there's some movement in them. I think there must be, but yeah. I
mean, you could do the whole forearm out of that soft plastic.
You could, and maybe it is. I think until we get one in hand, and so I'm definitely going to order one as soon as they're
even up, for the relaxed and fist hands, brilliant.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
Those.
Yeah,
not a problem.
So I like that. That's good.
In fact, one thing I've never quite understood, and I've asked people who design stuff 3D printing wise, guns and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love it if they just gave me a hand with a gun sculpted into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Just particularly when I think about when those clones and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because stuff's a lot more brittle when you print it in resin, it would be great if I could get someone to just sculpt me the blasters with a hand attached.
I think it's a brilliant idea, but that's an excuse for Hot Toys to whack another 20-30 quid on top.
Oh, big time.
Because they're going to still need to give you the separate gun. I mean, it's what they should have done with Robocop as well. That's the worst. Yeah. That's an amazing figure, but even to hold that plastic gun is a fucking ball ache.
Ball ache, isn't it? Yeah.
It's got an articulated hand, but it doesn't work, and that should have come with a sculpted fixed hand with the gun in, and that would be perfect.
Yeah, just pop it in and away you go.
Yeah, because it's just such an iconic look for him, and to have this gun like flopping about and you can't get it properly aimed. So yeah, I know what you mean. Definitely.
Yeah. And then while we're on weird new things, Q Model have released this nightmare. This is the silicone head sculpt for 55 quid out Q1 2022. Now, I'll start off with I like the idea. I think the idea is really good. Yep. I want the little skull that goes underneath with the eyeballs just so I can replicate the Evil Dead 2 cover. I think this is, when we talk about companies really doing something new, this and those forearms are the type of shit that small little tweaks that can make things even better.
It's innovation, isn't it, in a market that's quite static in terms of new ideas. So.
Yeah, I mean, fuck all that USB charging for light-out features I'm never going to use.
No.
The stuff like this, I could see myself using. Not a weird ghoulish version of The Rock, but maybe a weird ghoulish version of a different character I like.
So the principle, if you're not watching it, if you're listening on it's a posable skull in terms of the fact that the jaw opens, and you've got eyeballs in there, which if they're glass eyes, that'd be really nice, because glass eyes look fantastic if they're in a and then obviously you've got kind of like a silicone skin face that kind of goes over the top. Now, whether or not you could actually get it out, I don't think you could. It's all going to be sort of glued in, but
no, I think you do. I think you do get it. I think the silicone goes over.
Okay, you can kind of slip it in and out.
Yeah,
as she said. As you say, it's a little bit creepy, and when they show it on a body, because they've not got it on a, they put it on.
They have. Normal. They put it on a normal body. It was ridiculous,
and it looks ridiculous. It looks like it's like a quarter scale head on a. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? But then you think, actually, if you put it on a big enough body for The Rock, it would probably look alright. But yeah, it's
because I think the idea of this is like, obviously you move the jaw, you move the eyes about, you can get, the silicone, you can get snarling and all this kind of stuff. So, not bad. I think for 55 quid, I'm tempted to pick it up just to see what it's like.
I think the test would be like, how will it hold the changes you put into it, or will it kind of slowly relax back over time, or will it hold those? And again, what's the durability of it? A lot of us, we don't, the silicone, the only real experience we've got is with the bodies, Fison bodies and things like that. And I know they've used it in a lot of, and they're starting to, like some of the really high-end statues, they're doing the faces in silicone, aren't they? But there's always been that worry about,
idea is great, but this is 1992 CGI.
It's Scorpion King, isn't it? It's
it is a bit.
He's back there, but it's the durability of it, and obviously if you're moving it about a lot, are you going to get tears, or is it going to tarnish with your fingerprints and things like that? So it's a watch this space, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
but
I admire the innovation.
I can see people picking up for the skeleton, for the skull with the eyes.
Yeah. Well, you are, by the sounds of it.
I'm really tempted.
Yeah.
I'm proper tempted by that. And then we had something slightly different, an 18cm 3.0 Optimus Prime, which is the MDLX line, 71 quid out Q2 2022. I thought I'd pop this in because I really like it.
Yeah,
I think it's
because they've had the Bumblebee, haven't they? They've done the mini Bumblebee, which was about 10 centimeters tall, I think. I like it. I think it looks cool, but my issue, and I say this is an issue because I owned the Hot Toys Optimus Prime at one point, and it's a nice figure, but there's something in the back of my head that says, even though I probably would never transform him, there's something my head doesn't like the fact that I've got a figure of a Transformer that doesn't transform. And that's just me. And as I say, I would probably never transform it because I wouldn't be able to fucking work it out because they're like impossible.
Fucking complicated. Isn't
yeah, and you probably end up snapping something off or whatever. But it does look good for what it for what it is. But I've always steered clear of Transformers. So I got that Optimus. It was a great figure, but ultimately I was kind of like, well, what does he go with? At least this has got other. They've done the Bumblebee in the smaller scale, and if they do the Soundwave, he's really good. He looks brilliant in the bigger scale. So
you've got stuff you compare this with, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, no, and a good price. In this age of £250 for a figure, it's quite refreshing to see something you could get for less than £100.
Yeah, big time. And that's the thing for 71 quid.
Yeah, like as Mark says, I think it's just the fact that you could transform it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Because that is their thing. That is their USP, isn't it? Otherwise, they're just a giant robot.
That's what we've been bred on from a very, very early age. It's
correct.
A transformer. You will transform it at least once.
Yeah.
Or you will sit it there for a little while. You will go back to transform it at some point. You will get halfway through, get bored of it, and it will forever live in your toy chest, half transformed. Has this
can't
weird.
Work out how to...
It's effectively like having an aborted fetus that you've just thrown away. Like, I had a go, I can't be arsed with it, it's just gone. It's in the toy chest. It's this sad thing that if it could talk would be just going, kill me. Just fucking kill me now.
Just kill me, yeah.
Yeah. I'm Arthur Morris Minor here, for fuck's sake, kill me. Yeah. So, we've reached that point in our show where we are going to play some adverts and say thank you to these lovely, lovely people.
Only Fools and Collecting is brought to you by Watto's Scrapyard. They 3D print parts for your hard-to-come-by Kenner vehicles. They 3D print 1/12 and 1/6 scale head sculpts from a massive back catalogue. If there is a particular character you want, he can design and 3D print it for you for a reasonable price. Check him out on Facebook and Instagram. Backdrops and bases displays are printed directly to substrate on foam display board using UV matte inks, so there is no fade or glare. The nameplates are precision etched using their in-house laser machine. They offer a very bespoke service designing displays and nameplates to your requirements. You can contact Backdrops and Bases via their Facebook page, Backdrops and Bases.
Thank you very much, gents. Like we said before, well worth hitting them up for any of your display needs or any head sculpts. And
I've dropped
and bits like that.
links to both companies in the chat there if you want to go check them out. I would suggest you do, because as I say, between them you got some pretty cool stuff there.
Yeah, between them, they got us all covered. They are top guys, so worth doing it. So let's move into
Shenanigans! What?
Oh, we've got lots of shenanigans today, Pete. Lots and lots and lots.
Yeah.
So Grievous again. It doesn't seem a single fortnight goes by where we're not talking about Mr. Grievous. So as you know, I have one.
Yep.
Have you know? I can actually pose mine and I can balance it and arms can go up and all of that. So I got my replacement single joints through, which I thought was funny because they give you like that, your little instruction sheet.
Oh, hang on. This is solo cam, yeah.
Which is like, if you need that, then you're a fucking idiot, as far as I'm concerned. And so I got new joints, I've got new replacements, and for the singles that came in, and I was like, okay, brilliant, fantastic. Where's my doubles? So it turns out, actually, if you want double joints as well, you have to message them. They don't just send those out as standard.
God.
I was like, oh, fuck's sake. So I messaged them, and within a week, my new double joints had turned up. Now, the double joints and single joints are both the same. They aren't metal, they're plastic again. They haven't tightened up the ratchet. What they have done, now these are the old ones, is this piece here is a hell of a lot thicker. Yeah. Same with these little nubbins here. Now, some people have said their paint has started to come off. I couldn't give a shit. Like the nature of these joints is that will happen. Like if you've ever tried and painted a wrist joint, that will happen. So I'm not, and plus I don't really see it, so I'm not that worried. So it pissed me off a bit that you had to request the other joints as opposed to them just
for the cost of it. Just send the lot,
just send it out. Because my actual, these looser ones, I could this is all done with the loose joints, this picture, so I could get that into that position.
Anyway,
but I had to do a bit of shenanigans where I'm kind of leaning bits, the top two on other bits. So I'm happy now. I've got everything I need for it. They sent me replacement single arms. Didn't send me replacement double arms, which was a bit annoying because there's a bit of paint on that.
Okay.
But I can touch that. It's not such a problem. What I did think was fucking hilarious was I've listened to loads of different people talk about these joints and the phrase "taking the time out of my day to have to swap these round," and I'm like, you do realise how these actually work, how you change the single arms and double arms. You're taking these fuckers out anyway, so you're not taking. It's no aggro for you to pop some new joints on. If it was actually what we've done is we've sent you this joint that sits inside the figure and here's some instructions how to completely dismantle the figure, I would get that. I'd get why people would be like, fuck's sake, I've got to do that. But you literally have to take the arms off to change the arms round. So you're not. It's no aggro. It really isn't.
Yeah, so I think these people not changed their arms at all. They've just gone with whatever.
I generally think these people just don't know how the figure works.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who have come out with that are people who don't really own it. And I 100% agree that Sideshow have absolutely fucked up. Big time. So Badfish has just said, I wonder will the ones released now
You'd
come
like
with
to
all...
think so.
So they don't come fitted, but they put them in a little baggie in the box. Yeah, people have said they've been getting them in the box.
Okay.
Which is, fair play.
The thing I would say on that is that it does amaze me how scared people are to do anything with these figures. They're putting posts on Facebook. How do I take the head sculpt off and stuff like that? Do your homework. If you're going to get into this high end, you're paying 200, 250, 300 £300 for a figure. Read. I know you just joked about the instructions, but read the instructions and have a look. They, there's you got a lot of money at stake, but they are designed to work, and you just need to know the proper way of doing stuff. Don't be afraid that you're going to break it.
But do you reckon we've got that attitude because we were picking these up for like 120 when we first started?
Possibly.
It wasn't a bit like a replacement head sculpt would cost you like 20 quid. So you'd be... Because there's a couple of things I really hate. I hate it when I see people wearing gloves. Instantly just think, for fuck's sake.
Oh, John.
I can't be doing with it. Like, this isn't the fucking Mona Lisa. It's a toy. No. You don't need gloves. I hate all that kind of stuff. I hate it when people like go, "Oh, don't use pliers to take pegs out," or "Wrap your pliers in something soft." It's a fucking peg. Rip the cunt out. It's fine. It's a peg you won't see.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, enough of my hates of the general world. But
I hate the ones where they go, "Oh, I'm going to leave the plastic wrap on the neck so I don't get any staining."
Yeah, fuck those two. That's ridiculous. Like, for fuck's sake. But with Grievous, like, obviously Sideshow completely screwed the pooch. The way they released it, the plethora of issues. But I don't think it's one of those like just fucking send it back, like just kick it back down the road. Well, if you do that, you don't have a Grievous. You don't have that. Saying that I'm gonna.
I hope it's both sets of joints. We don't have to request more. I have one on pre-order still and postpone the payments to see how the new joints are. So would you say that it's fine with the new joints? The
new joints are really good. The only thing you have to watch out for is if you get one with like damage to the body, that some people have had. But in terms of loose joints, if they give you a new set, just drop them a message and say, "Can you please include the double jointed sets in there as well?"
Then that solves the issue.
Yeah. They're absolutely fine. Like, I've got him up there, and he's given it all this bollocks, and I've left it there for about a week, and they've not dropped. They're fine. So yeah, I think Sideshow have fucked up. I think they've done reasonably well, giving you replacement bits. I just think they should have thought about it and gone, okay, we just send out double new sets.
Yeah, I mean, they just they fucked up big time. And they've had to like really, grovel to everybody, and to then just go, "Well, we just sent you one set, but you can have the others if you ask." Just seems a bit like
it just seems a bit shit. But then again, like I don't like, it annoys me when people go, "I'll just wait for the Hot Toys version." When?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's the same. It's the same with Best in Hand. I'll just wait for Hot Toys. Why? Like, they're clearly at this point. It's so far down the road. That, okay, if you get this and you've got to swap some joints out, it's not the end of the world. Like, don't get me wrong, Sideshow, like I've said multiple times so far, really did screw the pooch. They should have learned. It's a figure they've released before, so instead of just doing a carbon copy of it, improve it. Don't lie about it. When they've been directly asked, "Are you going to make improvements?" "We've improved the cape." Fuck off. Like, fuck off. It's 2021. You should be using better materials. You shouldn't be using the same materials you used back in 2013. But yeah, so they've turned up, and I've got them, and all is right in the world. And Asmus, who I'm loving lately, put a statement out to say that the Gollum, the 2-pack with Gollum and Smeagol, will now come with 2 sets of hands, so you don't have to rob Peter to pay Paul.
We talked about it at the last show. And we said, at that point, that you'd be better off, unless you're really bothered about the rock display, you'd be better off buying 2 separate figures because you get the hands. And thanks to a bit of a campaign from myself and a load of other people, I'm not trying to take any.
It's all Peter.
But it's really good. I chipped in because also they said here about the haired feet we revised, because they went with haired feet, and everyone was like, "Well, he hasn't got haired feet," so they're going to make that change as well. So, as I've said before, I can't fault Asmus as a company in terms of how they listen to the fans and things like that. People might mock their final products aren't Hot Toys quality, but you just recently got the Legolas, and you're really impressed with
Love
them,
it.
aren't you? And I'm a big fan.
I have a small complaint with Legolas.
Right.
So I was like, fuck's sake. So I wanted to tweak the pose, and I wanted to change the hands. So I pulled the hand out, and it pulled the entire arm out of the socket.
Oh, right.
And I was like, oh, fuck. So I thought I should be able to just push it back in. could I get the fucker back in? I had to completely undress Legolas.
Because the sleeves are really tight, are they, on the...
So, so I had to completely undress him.
Right.
The only problem with that is all the straps. So I was like, take loads of photos and figure out where they went.
Fuck.
And turns out the shoulders are ball joints that just pop in. So if you do have a Legolas and you are taking the hands out, for fuck's sake, hold that wrist nice and tight when you pull the peg out, so you don't pull the whole arm out. Because it will pop back in, but it's just a bastard with all the clothes on.
Yeah.
So I take everything out.
Good tip.
Which was a pain in the ass.
So that's really good. So you get a full set of hands, so you can do whatever you want with either of them. So good on you, Asmus. That's well appreciated.
They've been quite busy.
Yeah,
the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they showed this chainsaw as well for the Ash Williams, which I'm utterly pointless, but I love it in every way. So when you pull the ripcord, the chainsaw blade vibrates and plays a chainsaw noise. It is so unbelievably unnecessary, but I love it.
It's a nice touch.
Absolutely, it is a nice touch.
It's things like that although it's utterly useless, it helps to justify the cost. That they've at least put a bit of R&D into it, and
so Bad Fishers, I think Justin shattered his third party Ellie Seamless arm doing the same thing. So, do you know, it's such a pain in the ass when it happens with figures you buy yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
And normally he's not prepared to push the joints, but you may wish to push them further with your own figure.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that third party Ellie was an absolute...
I imagine it rubbed the tattoo off as well when he was doing it.
It probably did. It probably did. I mean, that Ellie was fucking dog shit in a way. It wasn't a great figure. So it doesn't surprise me that you bend the arm and it just fucking completely goes...
Just shatters, Yeah,
it just goes. Fuck, I'd be so pissed off. Like, bang! But yeah. Asmus Chainsaw, I'm fucking loving it. Absolutely fucking loving it to bits.
Yeah.
So that should be out before Christmas.
Is that what they're saying? That'd be cool. I mean, nice little Christmas present to yourself.
It's just such the wrong time. The thing is, I
know no one's getting any presents this year. I've got an Ash to pay for.
The thing is, I'm looking at it and I'm going, I'm pretty much buying it. Not so much for the figure, for all the accessories.
Yeah,
for the stand,
the
backdrop, the fucking chainsaw, the little girlfriend head, the all of it. So I'm very much thinking, actually, if the figure itself isn't as good as my Ash I've already got, well, I can move the figure on and just keep the other stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
At least they gave you 2 sets of arms, but too bad about seamless arms being so weak. They do go. They do go.
Yeah.
So, and then we had Inigo announce another indie. Yay. Now, look, caveat to this, absolutely love this man. I think his work is fantastic. I really like this sculpt. I think it's great. But we've not had... Just all we have is indie. Like, he does so many indie sculpts that I'm getting a little bit like, I just want to see him do something different, because he's my favourite sculptor. Like, he nails pretty much everything he does.
Agreed.
But it's just... It does. It seems like it was less than 2 years ago when we had another unhatted indie. Now we're getting another one. Yeah,
well, I've got 2 of them. The V2 had an unhatted version, and I've got one on my Tuxedo Shanghai one, and one on my German Disguise one, and it's a great sculpt. And the issue I have is that, and this is, again, like, Inigo, love your work, and you're welcome to do whatever you want, and if you want to bring another indie out, and people will jump on it, but I think I need to just draw a line in the sand, because I've gone down this road so many times, and it might be 5-10% better than ones I've got, but I don't think it's worth me spending out the money to get it, to have it painted or that kind of thing.
And I think if you don't have one, it's well worth it. But
it's a great sculpt.
If you've been buying every single release that he's done so far, it's just it's just another one that you just
and it'd be nice. But I think the thing is that indies is bread and butter. It's he's got the basic of the sculpt. It's easy for him to kind of tweak them. They've sold really well in the past, and as I was saying to you before the show, there's obviously the new films helping, although that's been delayed till 2023 now.
Yes, I heard that.
So Jesus, he is going to be 80 by the time it comes out.
They are praying that the fucker doesn't die.
I know, yeah.
With his advanced age.
I know.
Yeah, they're really pushing it.
And I think that from what I'm seeing on the boards and the custom stuff, that people are prepared to drop a heck of a lot of money on indie customs and stuff at the moment. And there's a lot of stuff out there, ranging from, obviously we talked about the Present Toys figure that's a lot of people have pre-ordered, to a $700 jacket. Leather jacket. So I don't blame Inigo for kind of thinking, right, okay, the indie train's running well and everything, but for me, I'm just going to say I'm out, because I've got about 10 of his indie sculpts. I think that's enough, and as much as it looks amazing, it probably is better. I think the ones I'm happy with the ones I've got, and so if you're interested, drop him a message, and I'm sure if he gets enough names, he'll work on getting it out.
Yeah, definitely. So, custom corner.
Go and play your video.
Go on then.
I know
because I like
it's your favourite. Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Custom corner.
There we go. So I have been. I've been a little bit busy. So last time we had a look at that Sideshow Gandalf. I finally had some time to do a little bit of work on it. So I've repainted it, hands and sword and sculpts. And next thing I need to do is the clothes, is dye them up a bit. So
right,
a bit darker.
But what did you paint on the sword? You did the writing, didn't you? The
all the silver on the sword.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was well. What I've done is I've used that chrome paint. Yeah. So everything on there was just thing is, for stuff like this, it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Because it just works. So I've done all that. I've still got to fuck about with the belt and pick all the bits out in white. But so the sculpt's been completely repainted, and I think that's come out reasonably well.
That looks great. I just think it's funny for me because I did this. Well, I didn't paint it myself. I can't say that credit, but I had this done to the Sideshow one years ago, and then all of a sudden now you and Zach have done it. In the last month or two, and it really is a cracking sculpt.
It is really good. I mean, when I was painting it up, I couldn't believe as soon as you blitzed it over with some primer. You could instantly tell how good of a sculpt it was.
Yeah.
I like the Sideshow hat. I will never have it on because I just think it blocks out too much of the.
Yeah, it is a great hat. It's a fully sculpted plastic hat, isn't it? It's massive.
Yeah,
but it does look good. It does, yeah.
Yeah, and the only thing is, I don't remember him wearing it that much.
He doesn't. He takes it off in Moria, and he doesn't have it. He never wears a hat again. So
yeah,
it's only like the first hour and a bit. So
I was tempted to paint the staff, but then that looks fine, so I didn't bother. I left that. The hands are the original Sideshow hands, because actually Sideshow
they're really good
hands.
With the wrap on. The only thing that's hideous is the belt, is the brown belt.
Yeah, the belt's like a bit of rope.
Yeah,
so I'm on the lookout for a new belt.
Yeah, because I think the Asmus one has like a leather kind of. But really, that's the only thing I can fault on it, and I love my one. I've still got my one.
Yeah,
it's with my Bilbo in that display.
A little tip for bags and shit like that is put pennies in them.
Yep.
And then it just weighs it down, because that cloth bag's really nice, but it came with like nothing in it.
It is, so and they tend
all the way up.
They tend to float around, don't they? So if you're in America, stick a couple of dimes in it. Or a couple of 2p's, but it works miracles. I do it with all my indie bags.
I do it with jackets and stuff. So if you've got a jacket that's got like a 2-ply to it and you can get into it, slide a couple of pennies in and it just weighs it down.
Just gives it a natural sort of drape, doesn't it? Yeah.
So like I said, I've got to dye the clothes again, just to get them a bit darker with some black rip dye. But I'm generally quite happy with it. I had quite a lot of fun painting it up. It was one of those that I just stopped everything and just cracked on with it.
I think when you compare it to if you compare it to the first Asmus Gandalf, it's miles better. That's a horrible sculpt. They made it look. They tried to make it look like the Hobbit version, older, but the nose was huge and it was too wrinkly. Yeah. The sculpted beard was horrible on it, and the hair was horrible. So that was a complete no. The Crown Series one is obviously the hair on it is amazing, looks really good. But
you have to do a lot out. You have to do a lot out the box, though.
You do.
I saw someone's the other day, and it was really puffy. Can't remember who it was, but it came out and it was like like someone had just dried it with a towel. Like it just,
yeah.
That was it, straight out the box.
Seen some where they've really nailed the sort of wet, sweaty kind of Moria look, and it looks great. But I'm still not sold on the movable eyes because they're sunk so far back into the sculpt that quite often in a lot of pictures they just appear black. You can't see. You need to light it really well. It can look great, but I think this to me is great. And obviously on my other one, I've got the one where you painted the McKellen Magneto sculpt, and I aired it. And that, I, to be honest, and I know people are going to say, "Oh yes," because you haven't got it, but I don't have any wish to have the Crown Series one because I don't think the sculpt's as good as either of them. No,
and that's the thing. I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy with this. I don't feel I need to.
Oh yeah, I would be. No.
No,
definitely not.
Like spend £300 and get one.
No.
I mean, if anyone's got one and they just want to give me the belt, that would be fantastic. But
well, Zach managed to pick one up, didn't he? So you might.
Yes.
Yeah. To be honest, you could probably get away with any sort of medieval belt, really. Just something that looks a bit better than an old bit of rope.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I did that, and then I did the Kylo scopes again. So someone sent me 3 of the KO not Force Awakens, the Last Jedi scopes.
Yeah.
And they wanted them not as Kylo, just as Adam Driver. So I had to remove the scar, which is so much easier on the knockoff scopes because they're all resin, so they just sand out.
Oh, okay.
So I had that, and then those 3. So I knocked those out, and then Who
were they making? They sent you 3 of them.
Oh,
massive Adam Driver fan.
Big time, huge Adam Driver fan.
Yeah.
But there's a load of stuff they want to do with them. So I just generally.
Because he's in that. Is it the Last Duel film at the moment?
That looks really good.
Yeah.
So the person I did these for went to the premiere.
Oh, okay.
So they saw it and they said it was really good. So
it does look really good.
Really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
it looks good. It looks good. So I've got this to work on actually that I've been sent. Someone wants a battle damaged black suit Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Which I think will be kind of cool because there's really not much else you can do with these because they're falling to fucking bits. But,
are they? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're old now, aren't they?
They are.
So they're just fucked. So I've got that and a load more sculpts to crack on with.
Yeah, Mark says, I'm in love with my Crown Series, but I get it, but I can't paint a head sculpt, so easy choice for me. And that's fine, I mean, that's it's good that there's options out there, but this is just if you can get one at a decent price, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, a new body and a bit of paintwork really does come up.
Yeah,
it really does. So we've had trailers galore.
Yeah,
for DC.
It's really good. Yeah,
we got Batman, the Flash, and Black Adam. The Black Adam one I really liked.
Yeah. It's kind of like a behind the scenes, isn't it? With the Rock talking about the role, and it's his like passion project, isn't it? And
so it's probably a bit unfair to call it a trailer because it was like a 2-second clip of him.
Yeah, so shot. There it says 1:36. So that's the actual footage from the film, and there's like another 4 or 5 minutes of him talking about it. And everything,
it looks good though.
It does. Yeah.
I'm excited for it. The Batman looks good.
Yeah.
I was quite impressed with that as well. I think because that's meant to be more based on kind of the year one comics.
Yeah, it's very gritty and realistic, isn't it? And his car's just a kind of muscle car with a souped up engine.
Because the idea is it's him starting out. It's like his first couple of years as being Batman, so he's trying to kind of figure it out. So he doesn't have all these bells and whistles and gadgets. He's converting stuff. So I like that. I thought the trailer looked good.
Do you know the only thing that upsets me?
The Gimp Riddler, as Andy pointed out.
Alfred.
Why?
You know I can't stand Andy Serkis.
Can you not?
No. And his bloody Alfred.
See, that surprises me, considering he's Gollum.
I don't mind Gollum, but I've gone on record many times saying that I just think he's a bit of a smug git, and But anyway, I'm sure he'll be fine.
See, I can't wait for him just to burst into Gollum. Batman, my precious.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I thought the trailer was
all is good,
liked,
and obviously the Flash has got as we mentioned earlier, is going to have Michael Keaton.
The Flash is the one I'm the most looking forward to.
Yeah, definitely
by far, by a good country mile. Just because I like the Flashpoint comics, I like the Flashpoint animated film as well. So if it's kind of pulling from bits like that, that would be good.
Yeah,
I'd like to see. It would be great if they. Mind you, I don't see how they could if they're bringing Keaton back. But it'd be good if they went into the whole Joker type thing that they did in their Flashpoint stuff.
Okay, I'm not familiar with the material.
So in the Flashpoint comics and in the animated film, when the Flash fucks around with time and he comes back, he's altered time enough that in that alleyway, Bruce Wayne is the one that gets shot. So Flashpoint Batman is actually Thomas Wayne. It's Bruce's dad. Cool. And the Joker is his mum. She goes absolutely fucking batshit crazy and turns into the Joker.
Oh, right. Wow.
It's a really good little kind of twist and
it's
quite good. So, but I can't see how they would do that in this, considering Keaton's back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would have been nice if they kind of touched upon that.
So these are all next year releases, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Next year, I believe.
Yeah.
But DC, It's nice to see DC get a bit of love.
Strong year for DC. Yeah, and I didn't put a slide in, but obviously touched upon the fact that they just announced that the Indy 5 is going to be delayed by a whole year. Now, I don't know, do you know much about it? Is it to do with his injuries and stuff? Are they that bad that they've lost so much filming time? Or
no idea.
So it's now going to hit in July 2023, I think.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me with everything that's been going on the last year. They probably hit tons of delays that we don't know about.
I think it's a shame. I mean, I'm a little bit. On the one hand, New Indy's great. On the other hand, I'm a bit, worried about it in terms of whether it just takes a massive, great shit, bigger than Crystal Skull did, on the whole franchise.
And you
just think that delaying it by a year, that doesn't sound good. It sounds like there's.
I honestly
trouble
wouldn't have seen the problem if they just rebooted it with a different actor. Wouldn't have bothered me. But then the way everyone threw their toys out their pram about Han Solo and the Solo movie.
Yeah.
But then you go back and you listen to people talk about it now, and it's one of the better films. People love it.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think it definitely warrants a few rewatches. I did put it here as well. You said the new Uncharted trailer as well.
Yeah, no, it only dropped not long ago.
Yeah, because I think it was leaked, and then obviously then the studio quickly whacked out the official one to. But yeah, no, it looks pretty good. Looks cool, and there's some scenes in there that are straight out the games. Like the one that stuck out to me was when he comes at the back of a plane, and there's all the cargo boxes all attached, and he's leaping from one to the next. But I'm looking forward to that. I think I'm a big fan of the games, and in a way that's almost like a, is Indiana Jones really? So
it's in the same kind of vein.
Yeah, definitely. So that should be good.
I'll tell you what has dropped on Disney Plus lately is The new series of American Horror Story.
Oh yeah, it's about aliens, isn't it?
See, that's what I thought, but I've just started watching the first episode, and they look more vampire-ish.
Okay.
So fuck knows, but
I just saw an image of someone holding like a one of the green aliens,
That's what. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to figure out at the moment. But that's really good, and they've also got a spin-off, American Horror Stories, which are all different, not connected. That's worth a watch. They're really good. The one that was on last week was called Feral, and that's really good. Really good. There's been some good stuff. Yeah. Because we've gotten into Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, I like that. That's really good. Yeah.
That's really good. And we're miles behind the rest of the country, but we just started watching Line of Duty.
Oh, fantastic.
Because we watch Gogglebox and stuff like that. Every week they would show a clip, and we'd be like, well, there's no point fucking watching it now because we know what the fuck's gone on. So we've left it long enough now that we can't remember half.
You've kind of forgotten. So where are you at the moment?
We're on series 4.
Ah, you bet you're loving it. It's
really
so
good.
much better to watch it all in one go because you remember all the plot points.
Yeah, well, there's 6 episodes each, so you can kind of do 2 or 3 a night and get it done.
Yeah, and when you think that there's still links, from all the way through it, and when you watch them disjointed, you're sort of thinking, I don't remember
who the fuck was that?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a good way. It's a good way to watch it actually, all in one go. But yeah, brilliant series. Yeah, really
there's been some good stuff. In fact, do you remember a while ago I was banging on about the sci-fi program that came onto Netflix, and it was the bird from the bird who plays Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
It's called Another Life. They've just put the 2nd series on.
Okay.
If you get a chance, give that a watch. It's really, really good. It's probably one of the best sci-fi things that's been out for a while.
Cool.
Because they find this big monolith on Earth, and they can't quite figure out what the fuck it's doing, where it is, what's gone from, but it's transmitting a signal back. So they send a ship to go back and have a look to see what the signal is, and it's like kind of like Star Trek. They're going to be out there for fucking years,
right?
But you watch it, and then suddenly a load of people die. You think, what the fuck are they going to do? There's only like 3 of them. Well, turns out this fucking ship's massive, and they've got whole auxiliary crew members that are in cryosleep,
and they just
then
bring them out.
Pull out a new one. Like, we need a new chief engineer. This one I do. Pull him out. But it's really good. It's really well worth a watch.
Okay. Have a look. Yeah, Katie Sackhoff.
Another Life. Yes. Yeah. Another Life on Netflix.
Nah, she's really good. Enjoyed her in Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, but there's shitloads on at the moment that I'm getting into. So
yeah, no, it's good. There's some good stuff on Star. Yeah.
Really good.
Been good. Yeah, I love the Only Murders. I thought it was all finished, and I realised there's 2 episodes to go.
Yeah.
So need to watch those probably tomorrow with the missus. So.
Yeah, we love it. Yeah, we've been watching that. It's really good.
Yeah, that's very good.
So go on then, Pete. Let's have a look at these lovely Patreonies.
Oh dear, look how long this list's getting now. People are just too generous. So we're just point of the show. We'd like to thank all of our lovely Patreonies. We have Sean Fear, Ian Seaby, Rene Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Leo Hernandez, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Joao Brader, Equan, Chris Valance Serena, Ben Thomas, Dan Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Corrett, Big Fern, King Zach, Caesar Marroquin, Mike Cruz, Lisa Martin Bobonsky, Rick De Gregorio, Alvin Jules, John the Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Asusina, the illustrious Rayner, welcome Rayner, Bowler Boy, Jimmy James, Mario Cortez, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Stephen Maria Stanley, Jessica Contreras, Eddie Manzanares, Joe Corpus, Louis Bennett, Kevin Vega, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, and Brenton Palmer. You lovely bunch of angels. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So Ian Seaby's just coming with you watching Squid Game.
Yeah, I should probably be starting it tomorrow.
Yeah, binged it. It was absolutely
I've heard nothing but good stuff about it, so it's got to be done. Yeah, so if you're... I'm going to drop a link in the chat for the Patreon. If you're not already a Patreon and you want to help us out with some funds, just to keep the network running, You got the Sweet Angel tier, which gets you $5 a month, includes a sticker sent straight to your door, as well as access to Ox After Dark replay. Certified Crispy tier, $15 a month, gets you an official certified Crispy certificate on first pledge, assistance with figure fixes by Zach, and all the benefits of each of the previous tier. And the top tier, What a Guy, focusing sticker, a signed collective weekly live 18x24 silhouette poster, doubles all the stickers we send, so you can give them out to your friends and family, and all the benefits of the previous tiers. And I believe there's also going to be some sort of other giveaway on your first pledge coming soon, to be revealed soon, for you very generous top tier patrons. So the stickers for October, obviously we've gone with a Halloween theme. We've got the CW Horror Drip sticker, which is really cool, I like that one. And the Boogie Manny, obviously the Man Manny. He only comes out in October. He hibernates for the rest of the year. And then October, you can't get rid of him. And so we've got that pretty cool Boogie Manny, the Shape Halloween sticker there. That's cool. So that's what you'll be getting this month.
He's on deep freeze for 11 months.
He is. Yeah, cryogenic, like you're on the thing, and then he comes out just to scare the shit out of everyone for a month. But they're cool stickers. Yeah, and we've also got TeePublic, got some lot of different designs, some heritage designs, the original Only Fools and Collectings on there if you fancy one of those. Get them on a t-shirt, tea towel, face mask, mug, whatever you like. And a little bit of the proceeds will obviously come back towards the network, so have a look on there if there's anything you like.
I think there's a sale on at the moment.
Yes, okay, so yeah, so that's the best time to hit them. You get them quite reasonable, so have a look. And so Ian, destroy this this list
Destroy
of beautiful
the
shows. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we have This Is Us, this is the network, this is every single show we do. We record every single night. Some would say too much, but nope, we are there every single night. So we have Small Talk, which is the smaller side of life. These guys work incredibly hard because the smaller stuff, it just absolutely rams you every single fucking day. There's always something coming out, so props to them guys. Yeah. We've got Live and Let Dice, which if you're not 4 hours of someone playing Dungeons and Dragons, should probably go out and get a life. But yeah,
we're not in lockdown anymore, people.
Yeah. Go to work, do something. So Live and Let Nice, live and let dice.
Live and let very nice.
live very nice. It is very nice.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, it's just Borat playing board games. Going, I play like the Monopoly. It is nice. Schmish, thank you, please. That's them. They're really good guys, actually. Give them a watch. Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing, where John just goes into his sex dungeon and unboxes anything that he's had that he's been sitting on for years on end. He literally unboxes it, packs it back up, puts it back in the dungeon. Leave it. Won't come out.
It does.
Unless it's a reissue, in which case he just takes it into the garden and burns it. Won't be having any of that shenanigans. We got Collecting Weekly Live, which is every Wednesday, I believe. Tuesday. I can't fucking keep up, Pete. They're on all the fucking time. They're there. There's this. They're there. They're a good bunch.
The original, the OG gang.
Crew. They're there. We've got the In and Outs of Collecting, which is the statues and the stuff that poor fuckers like us can't even dream of attaining. We got After Dark, which is ironically Wednesdays, which is early in the morning for us.
I made a guest appearance on last night's one because Andy was on from Iconic. So he joined them about 4:30 in the morning. I woke up about 5 and saw the announcement it was on, so I thought I'd jump on for a bit. I played a bit of Scribble with the boys. It was quite funny. One of my joys was particularly shit, and Zach ripped it out of me for it. But it was really funny. It was a good laugh because I was trying to draw on my phone because this laptop I use is a work laptop, and it blocks anything to do with like games or anything. So I was trying to draw with my fat fingers on a phone screen. So as you can imagine, it wasn't very easy. And yeah, they weren't that great, but you know, it was.
Yeah, we'll have to do a game.
Yeah, it's good. It's funny.
We'll have to give it a go.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's After Dark, where they play games and masturbate back to back. You got OFAC, which is us. The Jewel in the Crown. No.
Yeah.
Pete will look you dead in the eye when he does it. The proper way.
But you feel really guilty.
Yeah, exactly.
That you're watching me.
Yeah, exactly. So you got us, the Jewel in the Crown, the height of professionalism. The Ringcasts, which is all about plaster Paris on your arsehole.
Which is my other podcast.
Which is Pete's other podcast. He's as bad as everyone else. Every night recording.
Yeah. No, this one's not too bad. It's only like every 5-6 weeks we record that. Yeah. So
I must admit, I really like that one. Now I've discovered Lord of the Rings. I do really like.
I'm really enjoying it actually. It's a nice. It's kind of a nice enough change, different from this podcast, and I don't have to do anything. I just turn up and chat. I'm not involved with any of the admin or anything, so it's quite nice for me.
Yeah. You take your foot off the gas and just
definitely just sit back and chew the fat. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
And then we got Ox plays anything really. I think we're back on Flight Simulator at the moment.
Yeah, it's been a bit quiet lately. I think I've not seen a lot on there, so maybe Zach's actually had some work to do or something.
Well, he's editing a 20-hour flight around the world.
Right. Okay.
So it takes ages.
Yeah.
It takes ages. Some drizzle, bit of sun, bit of ocean, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think I pretty much sold the network there. I think that's if people don't want to watch after that, then that's their own fault, because I've really described that in the best way humanly possible. But yeah, and then we got clips. Yeah, clips. This is where the shows who can be bothered, generally never us, submit the funniest parts of the program, and which is on Instagram. So go and have a look, go forth and multiply.
And there's at least 3 clips for me from last night's After Dark going on there, so that'd be interesting. My pathetic drawing.
Cool. So yeah, that is us. That's it. That was it for today. I think. I don't think we've got much more.
No. Another fun show. Thanks for sticking with us, everyone that stayed for the whole thing, and anyone else that tuned in at any point. Always great to engage with you in the chat, and it makes for a much more enriching podcast, I think. So yeah, thanks again.
Yeah. So we shall see you later.
Yep. See you next time, guys.
Tatty boys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Very nice.